Hey everyone, welcome back to English So-So, the podcast that proves your English doesn't need to be perfect to be powerful. I'm Sam, and today we're talking about something that's been bugging me for years.
And I'm Jordan. Let me guess, you're talking about how English learners sound like they're reading from a manual when they speak, right? Like they're reciting Shakespeare instead of just talking.
Exactly, you know what I mean, right? Someone asks, "How was your weekend?" And they respond with, "My weekend was very enjoyable. I participated in various recreational activities with my family members." Like, dude, just say, "It was fun, hung out with my family."
Oh my God, yes. I actually had this exact conversation with someone last week. This guy, super smart, clearly knows English grammar better than most native speakers, asked me for directions to the coffee shop. But he said, "Excuse me, could you please provide me with directions to the establishment where caffeinated beverages are sold?"
No way! He said establishment where caffeinated beverages are sold? That's like asking for the location where liquid sustenance derived from roasted beans is distributed to consumers.
Right? And the funny thing is, I know exactly what he meant. His English was technically perfect, but it felt so robotic, so formal, like he was writing an essay instead of having a conversation.
This is what we call textbook English syndrome. And if you're listening to this thinking, "Oh no, that sounds like me," don't panic. We've all been there. The good news? We're going to fix this today.
But first, let's talk about why this happens. It's not your fault. English textbooks and formal classes teach you the correct way to say things. But here's the problem. They don't teach you how people actually talk.
It's like learning to drive by only studying the driver's manual. Sure, you know all the rules, but you have no idea how people actually drive in real life. You know that technically you should signal 100 feet before turning, but you don't know that most people just wing it.
Perfect analogy. So let's start with the most obvious difference between textbook English and real English. Contractions. In textbooks, it's always, "I do not know," or "I cannot help you." But in real life,
I don't know, and I can't help you. That's it. Native speakers contract everything. We don't say, "I am going to go." We say, "I'm going to go." We don't say, "Do you want to come with us?" We say, "Want to come with?"
and here's something that shocked me when I first realized it. Native speakers use incredibly simple vocabulary in everyday conversation. We're not walking around saying magnificent and tremendous and exceptionally.
Right. We say, "Awesome, great, super good, really cool." I was at a fancy restaurant last week, like expensive white tablecloth kind of place, and I heard this businessman on the phone saying, "Yeah, the deal looks pretty good. We should totally do it."
Totally. Not absolutely or undoubtedly. Just totally. And that's a business conversation. Imagine if an English learner tried to join that conversation and said, "I concur that this business arrangement appears favorable, and we should proceed accordingly."
Everyone would be like, "Dude, are you okay? Do you need medical attention?" But seriously, this is why English learners sometimes sound like robots. They're using the correct words instead of the real words.
Let me give you guys some examples. Instead of "I am very tired," try "I'm beat," or "I'm exhausted," or even "I'm dead tired." Instead of "the weather is pleasant today," try "nice weather," or "it's gorgeous out."
Instead of, "I find this movie to be quite entertaining," just say, "This movie's really good," or "I'm loving this movie." See the difference? It's not about using bigger words, it's about using more natural words.
Now, let's talk about something else that makes people sound robotic. Complete sentences. In textbooks, every response is a complete sentence. "Yes, I would like some coffee, please." But in real conversation,
Coffee? Yeah, sure. Or definitely. Or just please. We don't need to restate the entire question in our answer. If someone asks, "Did you watch the game last night?" You don't need to say, "Yes, I watched the game last night."
exactly. You can just say, "Yeah, it was crazy," or "Nah, missed it. Was it good?" Short, natural, conversational. But English classes teach you to always speak in complete sentences because that's good for grammar practice.
Which brings us to another big difference, filler words. In textbooks, there are no filler words. Every sentence flows perfectly from one thought to the next. But real people, we say, like, I mean, all the time.
I was counting yesterday. In a 5-minute conversation with my neighbor, I said like 17 times. Like, it was like really hot yesterday. Like, I couldn't even go outside. It was like being in an oven.
17 times? That's more than 3 likes per minute. But here's the thing. Your neighbor understood you perfectly, right? The likes didn't hurt communication at all.
Not at all. In fact, if I had said, yesterday's weather was extremely hot, the temperature was so high that outdoor activities were impossible. It felt similar to being inside a cooking appliance.
He'd be like, dude, are you okay? Do you need medical attention? So here's the thing. A few filler words actually make you sound more natural, more human, more normal.
But I know some of you are thinking, wait, my English teacher told me never to use filler words. She said they make me sound uneducated. And in formal situations, job interviews, presentations, academic writing, she's right.
Exactly. There's a time and place for formal English. If you're giving a presentation to your boss, don't say, so, like, the numbers are pretty good this quarter, but if you're chatting with coworkers at lunch, totally fine.
It's like having different outfits for different occasions. You wear a suit to a wedding, but you wear jeans to a barbecue. Same with language. Formal English for formal situations, casual English for casual situations.
Now, let's talk about something that really separates textbook English from real English. Idioms and expressions. Textbooks might teach you, it's raining heavily, but native speakers say it's pouring or it's coming down hard.
Or instead of I understand, we might say I get it, or got it, or makes sense. Instead of I agree, we say totally, or for sure, or you're right. These little expressions make such a huge difference.
Oh, and here's a big one. We interrupt each other. In textbooks, conversations are so polite. Person A finishes their complete thought, then person B responds with their complete thought. But real conversations?
We're constantly jumping in. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Or, wait, the same thing happened to me. It's not rude, it's enthusiastic. It shows you're engaged and interested.
Right. If someone's telling a story and you wait for them to completely finish before responding, it might actually seem like you weren't really listening or you're not that interested.
Exactly. Natural conversation has rhythm, energy, back and forth. It's not a formal debate where everyone gets their turn to speak uninterrupted.
Okay, so we've talked about the problems. Now let's talk solutions. How do you start sounding more natural and less like a textbook? First step, start listening to how people actually talk.
Not movies or TV shows. Those are still scripted. I'm talking about podcasts, YouTube vlogs, TikTok videos, Instagram stories, real people having real conversations about real stuff.
Yes, and don't focus on understanding every word. Focus on the rhythm, the flow, the expressions they use. How do they start sentences? How do they transition from one topic to another? How do they show enthusiasm or agreement?
Second step, start small. Pick one casual expression and use it for a week. Instead of saying, yes, that's correct, try saying, exactly, or you got it. Instead of, I don't understand, try, I'm confused, or I'm lost.
And here's something important. Practice with low-stakes conversations first. Don't try to completely change your speaking style during an important business meeting. Try it with the cashier at the grocery store or the barista at your coffee shop.
Third step, embrace the contractions. Start saying I'm, your, it's, can't, won't, shouldn't. These aren't lazy or incorrect. They're how native speakers actually talk.
And fourth, this might sound weird, but add some filler words. Not every sentence needs to be perfect. A few ums and uhs actually make you sound more natural, more human.
But here's the most important tip. Don't worry about sounding stupid or making mistakes. every native speaker makes mistakes in casual conversation. We start sentences and don't finish them. We use wrong grammar when we're excited.
Last week, I was so excited about this new restaurant that I said, you gotta go there. The food it's like, oh my God, it's so good. Like, I can't even. Complete grammar disaster. But my friend knew exactly what I meant.
Perfect example. Communication isn't about perfect sentences, it's about connection, understanding, sharing ideas and emotions. Sometimes the most incorrect English is the most effective English.
So here's your homework for this week. Find one casual conversation, could be a YouTube video, a podcast, or even just eavesdropping at a coffee shop, and write down 5 expressions or phrases that sound natural but different from textbook English.
Then try using one of those expressions in a real conversation. See how it feels. See how people respond. I bet you'll be surprised at how much more natural and connected you sound.
Remember, the goal isn't to sound like someone else. It's to sound like the most natural, authentic version of yourself. Textbook English is a great foundation, but real English is where the magic happens.
Before we wrap up, I want to address something. Some of you might be worried that casual English will make you sound unprofessional or uneducated. That's not true. Knowing when to use formal English and when to use casual English actually shows that you understand the language deeply.
Absolutely. Native speakers code switch all the time. We talk differently to our boss than we do to our best friend. We write emails differently than we write text messages. That's not being fake. That's being socially intelligent.
So, don't throw away everything you learned in English class. Just add this new layer of natural conversational English on top of it. Think of it as expanding your toolkit, not replacing it.
All right, that's a wrap for today. Remember, you don't need perfect English to have perfect conversations. Sometimes the most imperfect English creates the most perfect connections.
Thanks for listening to English So-So. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And let us know in the comments what's one textbook phrase you're going to replace with something more natural.
Keep speaking, keep connecting, and remember, your English is so much more natural than you think.